Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Monday, December 19th, and the moon is in Scorpio. Scorpio is a moon of relating on a very deep level, emotional level. Scorpio is a highly sensitive sign and doesn't like to feel vulnerable, but on a certain level, that's really the direction it needs to go into, to surrender the ego and move into a more vulnerable and surrendering position, ultimately, anyway. But it takes a long time to get there. And Scorpios have a good reason not to trust because they have been betrayed before. So if you wonder why they're like that, it's because of that. Growth and evolution is not an easy thing for any sign. So it just happens to be Scorpio's thing. So what's happening today? Well, relationships are fraught today. We start the day with a square between Venus and Chiron. Chiron is in Aries. Venus is in Capricorn. Capricorn likes a certain amount of control and security. And Chiron in Aries can be unfettered masculine energy, or it can be issues around identity in general. If you don't know who you are, then it's hard to relate to another person, right? Know thyself. We also have an inconjunct between Venus and Mars today. Venus in Capricorn, as I said. Mars retrograde in Gemini. Neither one of those positions for Venus or for Mars are especially comfortable for either one of those planets. So there's a sense of Venus in Capricorn. It's not like it doesn't function. It does. It's beautiful sign for Venus, but it's not in its strength. It's not like Taurus or Libra. Sort of neutral in Capricorn. And of course, Mars in Gemini is a little bit schizophrenic in its nature, and then add a retrograde to it, and there you go. So, both signs are both planets are struggling. We do have later in the day, though, a sextile of Mars to Chiron, which helps maybe to smooth things out as Mars retrograde, or the masculine side of things, or the man in the situation gets a little perspective on, perhaps how their actions have caused a problem. We have two magical elements today. We have a quintile between Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter are the two signs, the two planets that are associated with our minds, how our minds work, the right and left brain, all of that. The quintile is like a magical thing a magical energy that sort of brings in a higher understanding, a higher knowing, and that'll come in handy today. The moon in Scorpio does meet up with the south node, its own south node, so things from the past can come up at this time, but they can be resolved. Venus eventually trines the north node in Taurus, and then will trine Uranus, I believe, right? Shortly. Not today, I don't think. I think that's tomorrow. But so there is, or the next day. So there's struggle, but there's resolution as well. Hi, little birds. I put up a seed cake for the birds because now it's getting cold. I figured they've run out of food in the garden, and now I have to feed them. And I read that it's best to feed them in the morning because that's when they eat mostly. So I'll leave it out and I'll take it in at night lest the other critters steal it. I've found that thing under a bush more than once. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, challenging day for relationships, but ultimately I think things get resolved. Today is the last day, full day, that Jupiter is in Pisces, so to enjoy that Pisces energy, the sort of energy of oneness and dissolving into the oneness, compassion, imagination, because tomorrow it moves into Aries, and we should have our running shoes on by then. So enjoy the day, do your best to relate in the most loving and compassionate way you can, even though sometimes you want to just not be completely compassionate with somebody. But compassion goes a long way, and if not for them, it goes a long way for you, because it means that you have released the resentment, and resentment is nothing to carry around. It's like poison. It's like you just keep poisoning yourself over and over again with your resentments, and you don't want to do that. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think both cats are out, but I don't see them. I thought maybe we would get to see them, but they're off playing, I guess, or whatever they do when I can't see them. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay warm, everyone. Have a good week. It's going to be an interesting week, so we'll talk about it each day as it comes up. Thank you again for all your support through the challenge of losing my mom, Angelina, and I really appreciate all you guys. I just want to tell you it's made a huge difference between you guys and my family and my friends and my fellow YouTubers. It's been a real blessing to me. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.